All right. I do have some Maverick information if you don't have any questions on electrification,
So
EVs, and all that.
people are wondering why Ford doesn't make more plug-in hybrid Escapes, but we don't see a market for it as much.
I think we would. I mean, we right now they can't make it enough. I mean, like
Yeah.
we're not a heavy Escape dealer. We do get about one plug-in hybrid allocation a month,
Yeah.
which isn't a lot. Um, and but some areas are probably getting a bunch, you know. So,
Yeah. All right. Other than that, nope.
but Escapes are outselling the Mach-E right now. Just saying, all of the Escapes. Anyway, all right. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about some Mavericks. So as we're talking about this, let's talk about hybrid vehicles, including the Maverick, right? So there are a couple things that I wanted to kind of touch on this week that I was enlightened about from last week, right? All right. So one of them is the order banks. Are they still open? There's, of course, we talked last week that they were still open last week. They're still open this week. You can order hybrid. You can order those at your dealers. So if your dealer says we can't take any more hybrid, order banks are closed, that is not true. In fact, we had someone at Ford that said, "Can you please communicate?" Because they know that we get out in the Maverick community. They said, "Please let your people know hybrids can be ordered." Hybrid production as an all-time high right now for the Maverick. It's at 50% of the Mavericks being built right now can be a hybrid. So we know that for the end of the 23 model year, but also today it looked like at the startup for 24 is going to be a 50-50 mix hybrid and EcoBoost. According to what I got from my wholesale, if I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. Ford's wrong. That's what they told me. Anyway, so that's a major thing. So you can now also that is also a reason why we talked about last week of how I don't think dealers should be going off of that breakdown. So dealers got an estimate of how many allocations they're supposed to get for the year. Take your orders based on the allocations, but just let the customers order what they want. If they want to order hybrid, order hybrid. If they want an EcoBoost, let them order an EcoBoost. Let them order what they want, and don't worry about your breakdown. Besides that, and say, well, 35% of your number, which is if I have 100 allocations, I can only take 35 hybrids. Well, you know what? Now you can take 50, right? We already know that. We know the number is 50. So go ahead and take that. I mean, I have a couple different people within Ford headquarters is saying, yes, take those orders. One of the reasons they probably have not closed the order bank is because dealerships are adhering to those estimates, which is a good thing when you talk about overall allocation number. But when they're doing the breakdown, you can't be concerned about that. Just do what you want to do. We use an example last week. I'll keep using this example till I get it through people's heads that we did that on the Bronco. They told us our number was 3 Bronco 2-doors, and we've already scheduled 8. We only have 2 left now. So that need to be scheduled. I would not be surprised if they get scheduled this next week. Um, so, just do it that way. Also, all the options right now on the Maverick are within their capacity. So the capacity numbers we talked about last week, they do not have more orders for each of those options than they can handle and they can produce. So they also told us I actually had a concern about the bed liners since all of the Lariats are going to be built with a spray-in liner and all of the XLTs with a drop-in liner. Last year's capacity was very low on the drop-in liners, and I said, how are they going to be able to make 50% of the vehicles as a XLT with and almost everybody adding that luxury package? How are you going to be able to have the production for bed liners? And they said they actually have that all worked out. They've actually hired more people at the factory. They have facilities going at full speed so they can handle all the bed liner production. So they said feel free to put in your bed liners on your orders and they can make them. I still would adhere that if you're looking at the optional spray-in liner or drop-in liner, I'd wait and still have your dealership do it. That's just me. Yes, will they schedule? Probably at some point. But if you want to get it done faster, leave it off. That's still my take on that. So they're saying production's fine. And yeah, but if you're a customer, you want yours, you don't care about the other 100 people that are ordering with you at your dealership. you want to move up. You don't want to be the 100th person because you added the optional spray and liner. So that's the way I look at that, and we've actually seen that to happen. Also, they said a little bit of information on the black appearance package and the trimmer. Those are within capacity easily, and they will build trimmers. So if there's not orders for trimmers, they'll build stock trimmers. So they said that putting in a trimmer order is probably going to be easier for
Good
you to
guarantee.
get. Good guarantee you're going to get yours fairly fast because they will produce every so often. They're going to a trimmer is going to go down that line. So they need those orders so we can schedule those. So here, and speaking of that, here's kind of an image of a few of those that have showed up here in the last week. So avalanche trimmer, both of those. Here's two more outside of a Super Duty, which came on the same truckload. Avalanche and avalanche trimmer right there. The two on the outside of that trimmer. Also got a hot pepper red one there. And then there's another one, an avalanche. We had 5 avalanches that were sitting back there. And then we also have a black appearance package in black sitting there too as well. So
did any of those have the trimmer appearance?
No. We didn't. We only had a couple of those orders last year. They all got scheduled already.
I know. I've only seen Lee's.
Well, and I think they all got scheduled. And what's the only thing is that hopefully everybody's did because they wanted that black roof and stuff or gray roof and stuff because it's not available in 24. But
yeah,
they try to do that just kind of like they did with the first edition. So just some notes that we had. Also, something else to take note of: private offer information. We'll have that next week probably. Hopefully by the time of this live stream on next week, we should have information on private offer and numbers. I've been told that everybody will be happy with their numbers. In fact, in almost every situation, you'll probably be getting the Maverick cheaper than you would in 23. Yeah. By a little bit. So they wanted to make sure everybody was well taken care of. I think they said there's one situation and one configuration that is not getting what they had. And that's probably if you had a stock, I would assume, and again, that's just an assumption. I may be totally 100% wrong, but probably if you have a Lariat, base Lariat last year, this year you have to get Lariat with all those packages. You're probably going to be you're not going to be able to because you have to add all those packages this year. So that would probably be the situation where you're going to get a private offer based on a base Lariat pricing increase. So if you didn't have the Lux and all those last year, you will probably see in this situation because now you have to add those 3 packages that you will. That's probably the one situation I would think. But everybody else, they said would be in pretty good situation there.
How many Mavericks did we get in last week? Was it 27?
We were supposed to get about 34, 37. But I don't know if they all showed up.
Yeah, I think last time we had checked before we went on a trip, it was like 27.
Yeah, we had. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mavericks here.
Yeah, I was actually counting. Yeah, I think last Tuesday night before I left, I went by and was counting. We were close to 30 on our lot.
Well, I did a short, and we had like 5 or 6 of them sitting out front waiting to be shipped out.
Yeah. Oh, another note on the private offer. Just looking at my notes here. Your private offer is based on your 23 order that is in the order bank. So your dealership needs to leave that order in there. So if they will look and see, yes, you have a 24 COVP order, but they're also going to look at the 23 model year order in the order bank. So your dealership needs to leave those orders in there, completely in there. Let Ford remove them, or you may not get that private offer. So anyway, and there's no guarantee of that. So yes, so make sure that happens. Depending on how many of those, maybe if somebody got canceled one, depending on how many of those, they may not be able to recover those because they're looking at the order for the 23 order in the order bank with that dealer. So in the matchup of 24 order that COVP'd. So, and the COVP needs to be done. Same name, same order number as well to get that private offer and prioritization. So, yep. I think I got all of my notes here. All right.